Please have a seat, Ekam.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
So, Ekam, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. Sir, my name is Ekam Singh. I am from New Delhi. I have done my BSc in Botany from Hansraj College and MSc in Environmental Studies from DU. And sir, I am currently working as an IRMS officer. I am selected as UPSC in 2022 batch.
Okay, so you are getting trained as a Indian Railway Management Service officer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can you please tell us the history of the IRMS?
Sure, sir. Sir, Indian Railways was introduced in India under the lordship of the Lord Dalhousie.
Sorry to interrupt. My question is about IRMS as a service.
Sorry, sir, I have to read about it.
Okay, so which service have been included in the IRMS?
Sir, there are multiple services of Indian Railways like IRTM, IRTC, Indian Railways, Hospitality and other services which have been merged with IRMS.
Okay, so what is the purpose of merging all these services?
Sir, the purpose is to break the silos between the various departments and also to promote intercooperation and interdisciplinary services that is required. Also, sir, it is better to reduce the operating ratio of the railways.
Okay, can you please explain the concept of operating ratio?
Sure, sir. Sir, operating ratio is the number of output that the railway produce in comparison to input, and it is the operating ratio.
Are you sure about that?
Sir, I have to more read about the concept.
Okay, and what is the trend in the recent operating ratio? Approximately what is the level?
Sir, I have to read about it.
Okay, so can you please tell a comparison between railways and roadways in the freight traffic?
Sir, I do not know the exact details, but railways carry more freight as compared to the roadways.
Is it so? I mean,
yes, sir.
Okay, and which mode of transportation has more cost per ton?
Sir, I am not sure, but if I have to guess, then it is airways.
Okay, and in the railways, what is the governance structure of the ministry and board?
Sir, Indian Railways has the Ministry of Railways, that is the governance in the central government. And sir, it is mostly controlled by the central government, and there is Railway Board in the Indian Railways with its different headquarters like Lucknow, Delhi, Pune. There is headquarters, and it is and sir, there are posts like we started assistant director and then we go up to DRM level.
Okay, and there have been various committees regarding the restructuring of railways and dealing with various issues of railway. One of the committees, Anil Kakodkar committee.
Yes, sir.
So can you please tell the purpose of Anil Kakodkar committee and what are the few recommendations of Anil Kakodkar committee?
Sorry, sir, I do not know about this committee, but I will read about it.
Okay, any idea about the Sam Pitroda committee?
Sir, I have heard about it, and it is regarding the railways issues and the railways problem that the railways is suffering, and it gives certain recommendations. But sir, I do not know it in much detail.
Okay, recently two companies from the railway ministry have got the status of Navratna. So are you aware about those two companies' names?
Sorry, sir, I am not aware.
Okay, are you aware about the concept of Navratna?
Yes, sir, Navratna I am aware. That it is regarding some amount of turnovers and profit, and the companies become a high rated PSU.
Okay, so what are the benefits available to a Navratna company?
Sir, I have to read about it.
Okay, so you are working in the government now, you're getting trained in the government now. So what are the few challenges that you find in the working of railways, as an organization? The top three challenges which the railway is facing today.
Yes, sir. So the first challenge is the cross subsidization issue which the railways is suffering. Second is that operating cost of ratio of railways. And sir, number three is the management and safety issues of Indian Railways.
Okay. And what is your opinion on the privatization of some part of the railway? Are you aware about like which is railway is reserved sector or not?
Sir, main operating sector of railways is reserved, but sir, some sectors like coaching, ports, manufacturing, and other things are there for the private sectors. And sir, it is a good initiative because government is also working for its cost diversification. And sir, railway privatization is a good initiative.
What is the difference between the privatization and monetization?
Sir, monetization is a way where government utilizes assets, sir, like the national monetization policy where government utilizes its assets, but in privatization, government sells its shareholding above 51%.
Okay. What are the financial challenges faced by the railways?
Sir, since I have only spent 2 days in Indian Railways, so I do not know personally about the working. But sir, I have read about certain challenges that railways is facing, like the subsidization issue. The freight operating ratio is quite low, and sir, also we are diversifying the railways. And sir, the government has allotted this year the largest amount of budget to the Indian Railways.
Okay, in which year the railway budget was merged with the union budget?
Sir, I don't know the year, but I know the committee. It was Mac Arkworth committee.
No, my question is in which year it was merged? I mean, recently in.
Sir, in
Years.
2015, if I am not.
Okay, it is in 2017 actually.
Yes, sir,
17. Yeah. So, what is the purpose of merging?
Sorry, sir, I am not aware.
Okay, so recently the concept of Vande Bharat
Yes,
is
sir.
becoming very popular, and earlier there used to be trains like Shatabdi train,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So Shatabdi train were also working dedicatedly on certain routes, and their fare was comparatively lesser, right?
Yes, sir.
So I had the personal experience that I once went to Dehradun through Vande Bharat, and one of my friend he also used Jan Shatabdi basically. We were traveling on the same day. I was charged 1,200 rupees from Delhi to Dehradun,
Yes,
and my friend he was charged just 250 rupees from Delhi to Dehradun, and my bogie was AC, his was non-AC. That's the only difference was there. But more than 4 times is the fare in Vande Bharat. There are 2 services. One is the extra meal services that I got
Yes,
catering. Second, it is a AC bogie. But I felt that the charges are very high in the Vande Bharat. What is your take on that? Did you get my question clearly?
yes, sir, I got that Vande Bharat is comparatively expensive to Shatabdi.
Yes. So, what is your take on that? Isn't it becoming costlier on the part of general public?
But sir, we have to view the cost from the perspective of services that the Vande Bharat train is providing. And sir, especially it is made for the upper middle class and middle class which can afford it. So sir, Vande Bharat is also providing us various services like bio toilets, AC coach, and various safety features. So that sir, it justifies the cost that it is getting.
Okay, so you also talked about the issue of cross subsidization.
Yes, sir.
Can you please explain this in more detail?
Sir, for example, railway charges less for passenger tickets but more for the freight tickets. So, sir, it is the cross subsidization by which the passenger tickets become cheaper as compared to freight, and it is the whole issue about cross subsidization.
Are you aware about the concept of dynamic pricing?
Sorry, sir.
Dynamic pricing, which is in the Rajdhani and other luxury trains.
Sorry, sir, I am not aware.
Okay. How many PSUs the Ministry of Railways has?
Sorry, sir, I have to read about.
Okay. So you have done your graduation from University of Delhi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Ekam,
Yes.
your option is history.
Yes, sir.
So when sir was asking about IRM and history, you are starting history of railways. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure, sir. So railways was introduced in India under the lordship of Lord Dalhousie, and first train was started from between Bombay and Thane.
Okay. So was it helpful for common Indians, or was it just a tool for expanding the British imperialism?
Sir, earlier point of view, it was for expanding British imperialism. Like it led to earlier drain of wealth of India. It led to mobilization of British army, but at the same point of time, it connected us with the nationalism of India. Like sir, various people, for example, Lajpat Rai from Punjab, Bal Gangadhar Tilak from Maharashtra could easily connect due to the railways. And also, sir, it become a common means for uniform administration and later for the unification of India.
All right, very good. So, railways helped in the unification of India.
Yes, sir.
So, can you explain the other side of the angle, like how it benefited the British in terms of imperialism?
Sure, sir. So, railways was a tool of imperialism because the British used to export their iron and steel to India, and in return, the drain of wealth was there. And so, British also used to get away all the raw cotton from India and sell it to Britain, and in return, the British used to get their manufactured cotton to the Indian markets. Also, sir, there is a one more factor that British used the railways for mobilization of the troops as they used it during the 1857 rebellion. And so British used railways as a tool of imperialism for India.
All right. So let's go back to ancient past. Can you explain a little bit how India, North India and South India were connected since ancient times?
Sure, sir. Sir, there were various routes that called Uttarapatha and Dakshinapatha, and sir, Ujjain used to serve as a center for connection between the north and south. Also, sir, there were many trade routes like the Dakshinapatha. Sir, for example, the Patliputra was well connected to the ancient ports of Karnataka like Swarnagiri, etc.
Okay. In medieval times?
Sir, medieval times, the Bahrampur of Madhya Pradesh used to serve as a connecting point between the north and south. And sir, Daulatabad was also a junction of north and south.
So is there any contribution from Sher Shah Suri?
Yes, sir. Sher Shah Suri developed the Grand Trunk Road in the north to connect north and south. Also, sir, before Sher Shah Suri, Alauddin Khilji also developed Daulatabad, and later Muhammad bin Tughlaq also shifted the capital. So there was a well connection between north and south.
All right. So since ancient times, our ports, coming to the ports sector, in ancient times, was it helpful for India or not?
Sir, our ports.
Ports like West Coast and East Coast, how it helped Indian economy since ancient times?
Sir, there is a famous statement of Pliny that Rome was being drained of gold to India. And sir, the ports like Arikamedu, Tamrilapati, etc. used to have a lot of gold from Rome, and in return we used to give them the pepper, which was their essential need, and cotton was also given to them. So sir, Indian economy was well boosted by the use of ports, and it was the main reason why India flourished during the ancient and medieval times.
So now in that case, since ancient times, we were used for ocean trade,
Yes,
maritime trade. And we were very strong also. As you said from Pliny's statement, Rome wealth was drained to India.
Yes, sir.
In that case, why by 1600s and 1700s, why we could not develop a strong navy? When it comes to Europeans, they were having very strong navy and we were finally colonized. What was the reason?
Sir, it is because of the priority of the Mughal rulers. They focus more on the land conquest rather than navy. But sir, if you see the great Shivaji, he used to build a strong navy to defeat the Portuguese. And sir, it is about the priority. But sir, the British used to develop the navy, and they believe it as a strong means of conquest. But sir, for us, we believe that land conquest is the first thing that we should do, and we did not focus enough on the army, on the navy sector. But sir, if you see, Aurangzeb also developed a great ship called Savai-e-Ganj. And Maharaj Shivaji was also a pioneer in development of Indian Navy.
Okay. Do you know who are Vijayanagara Empire?
Yes, sir. Vijayanagar Empire was founded by Harihara and Bukka, and the great ruler Krishnadeva Raya was one of the great rulers.
Many Portuguese people used to come to Vijayanagara Empire. And many Portuguese people also talk so much about the greatness of
Yes,
Vijayanagara Empire. And why do you think they were having good relations with the Europeans?
Sir, because Vijayanagar Empire was very much tolerant, and it also had a great role in the exports, like pepper was exported and many things was exported to Europe. Also, sir, Vijayanagar Empire was one of the greatest architecture that Europeans saw. Like sir, Marco Polo, they come to the Kakatiya dynasty, and sir, later also various travelers like Barbosa, Barbosa and Vardhaman also come to Vijayanagar and they saw the beauty. And sir, they even compared it with the European cities like Rome and Paris.
So, what was the importance of Portuguese for Vijayanagara people? Strategically, was there any significance?
Sure, sir. Sir, Vijayanagar ruler, particularly the Krishnadevara, took help of the Portuguese to defeat Bahmanis a number of times. And sir, there was a very strong connection between the Portuguese generals and the Vijayanagar emperors, and in defeating the Bahmani Sultan's people.
All right. So, why initially Indian rulers encouraged European traders?
Yes, sir. Sir, Indians ruler did not saw any harm from the Europeans, and they saw them as an opportunity to boost the trade with India. And sir, since Shah Jahan period, the economy of India was at its peak due to the contribution of Europeans. And sir, as every pragmatic ruler, they saw Europeans as a way to increase the India's trade to world. So, sir, this was the reason they promoted the Europeans.
So, it helped Indian kingdoms
Yes, sir.
by promoting the trade with Europeans. But gradually, how they conquered India? Was it a very accident or is it planned one?
Sir, there are various theories like the European and Cambridge school of thought claim the annexation of India as an accidental conquest and not planned. Like sir, they give the arguments that Bengal ruler attacked the Europeans, so they got an opportunity to annex India. But sir, our national historians say that that it was well planned, and sir, there was proper meeting between the King of England and the East India Company, and they used to exchange the charter for gold and other things. So, sir, a conquest like India could not be accidental. There must be some of sort of planning.
Okay, why do you think they were winning against? Because Indian rulers were having huge armies also. Despite that, why they could win with a small number of troops?
Sir, first reason is that Indian rulers were divided between themselves. And sir, for example, I would give you an example, sir. Like when Mysore was being attacked by Europeans, the Marathas and Hyderabad Nizam used to help them, and they did not come together to fight the British. Also, sir, the European army was though small, but it was well disciplined as compared to our Indian large army, because Indian large army was quite a fiducial in nature. But their army was quite modern with all the modern techniques of warfare and well disciplined, so they easily defeated the Indian rulers.
So at that time, what Delhi was doing when Tipu Sultan was fighting with British? What Delhi was doing?
Sir, Delhi was a kingdom of just of its name. It did not have much power because Nadir Shah and Ahmad Shah Abdali invasions completely destroyed Delhi. And sir, the annexation of during the Battle of Buxar, British did a treaty with the Delhi and the Awadh that Delhi will be given pension by the British. And sir, it was just a puppet of the British Emperor.
All right. So you mean to say because of the divisions within the Indian kingdoms, British could win?
Yes, sir.
And now today we are talking like federalism. What
Yes.
is the necessity of federalism in India?
Sure. Sir, the constitution states that India is the union of states, and sir, it is necessary to have federalism because country like India is of a great size and great diversity. So, sir, we need local governments as well as state governments to manage a particular issue. Also, sir, there were protests also during the independent India regarding the division of states on the basis of language. So, sir, language diversity and the economic needs of a particular state like Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh were formed on the basis of economic needs. So, sir, these were the reasons why we had federation.
Okay. So are we a strong center or strong states we are having?
Sir, India is definitely strong center because center can impose emergency if it see any external threat or impose president rule if they see that state is not running the government according to constitution. Also, sir, state has also obliged to take care of the railways as well as the communication of the center. And if they fail to do so, then center can take over the states.
Okay. Suppose if center is partial towards different states, and what is the danger for the future?
Yes, sir. Sir, if center is partial towards some of the states, then sir, it can lead to the breaking down of the basic structure of our Indian constitution, that is federation as per the S.R. Bommai case. And sir, Supreme Court has also cautioned the center against it. But sir, thankfully, in our case, now the center is not so much being partial towards a particular state.
Okay, some recent challenges. Some states are raising some issues with respect to center. Can you elaborate on what basis they are highlighting some issues?
Sir, they are highlighting the issues on the basis of three things. First is the governor interference in various states. Like sir, recently Kerala government interfered in the Kerala University matter. Also, the Delhi Lieutenant Governor sometimes interfere in the Delhi day-to-day affair. So, second is the use of the ED, because ED is all sometimes used and it is supposed to be claimed by various leaders of opposition that it is used against them as a tool for suppression. So, third is the use of the state instruments, that is the horse trading of the MLAs to coup up the government of the state. And sir, this opposition leaders claim that center is misusing it.
Okay, so if there is such danger, what kind of threats India may face in future?
Yes, sir. Sir, if these things continuously happens, then India can become one nation, one party in future. And sir, many of the opposition leaders might face challenges in future. Also, sir, it will become a threat to our democratic values as well as the basic structure of our constitution. But sir, thankfully, we have independent bodies and Supreme Court which takes care of these actions.
Okay, one last question. Can you explain what are the threats India is facing from the neighbors or from outside powers?
Okay, sir. Sir, India is facing various threats, like we have border issues and regular incursions by the Chinese soldiers in Ladakh and Arunachal Pradesh sector. Also, sir, from Pakistan, we are facing the LOC challenges, also terrorism. Sir, from the outside in the Red Sea, we are facing the Houthi rebels which are destroying the Indian red ships in the Red Sea. Also, sir, deep down we are facing challenges from Canada, which is issuing negative statements regarding India and harboring separatism. And sir, we are also facing some of the threats from the Far East, like the Russia-Ukraine war, which is reason for the India's inflation, and the Israel-Palestine war, which is causing instability in Middle East and counter to the India's interests.
Okay, all right, Ekam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So you are the independent director of a company.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what is the provision of Companies Act under which the independent directors are appointed?
Sir, it is under the Companies Act 2013 and provision is section 149 that independent director is given. And sir, he should not be a member of the company, or his family member should also be not a member of the company. And sir, he usually takes advices and gives suggestion to the CEO for the impartial working, and takes charges if any wrong thing is happening in the company.
So can you please explain a bit about Azad EdTech Private Limited? What is the company role?
Sir, actually, Azad Tech is an initiative backed by the NGO Monge Kamyab, and it focuses on mentoring the children from the underprivileged slum background and helping them to clear the government sector exams.
So as an independent director, what experience did you gain from there?
Sir, I learnt about the company's day-to-day affairs, and I also took part in the company meetings. And sir, we also voted for the CEO of the company. And sir, we took in charge into daily expenditure, and sir, it increased my accountability and transparency also.
So it's a NGO, right?
Sir, it is a company backed by an NGO.
Company backed by an NGO.
Yes.
Means the ownership is held by the NGO.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it a non-profit company or profit making?
Sir, currently it is a non-profit company.
It's a non-profit company.
Yes.
Okay. Under which section of the Companies Act non-profit companies are registered?
Sir, I have to read about it.
Okay. So you have also been the co-founder and chief advisor of Selection IAS. What is Selection IAS?
Sir, Selection IAS is a sub category in the Azad EdTech company. And sir, it is also guiding the students, in particular the IAS exam, how to clear it and how to get cheap coaching.
Okay. And you are also connected with the Airports Authority of India. Are you aware about the public-private partnership in the airports?
Yes, sir.
Can you please tell the problem which the PPP project face?
In airports.
Yeah, in airports especially.
Yes, sir. First challenge is regarding the bidding, that many of the government airlines and companies cannot get the fair price by the bidding. Sir, second challenge is the corruption and the tender floating that usually happens. Sir, third challenge is the private. We have seen that many private airlines have failed, like the Kingfisher and many others. So, sir, these are some of the challenges that PPP model in airline faces.
Okay, so you also have written that you do some seva at Gurudwara Sahib. So what do you get from this seva?
Yes, sir. Sir, I become humble by doing the seva, and I get feeling of compassion by doing the seva. Also, sir, I get a lot of blessings by doing seva.
Okay. You also watch history-based movies.
Yes, sir.
So what a person should learn from the history?
Okay. Sir, a person should learn that from the past mistakes that he has done, he should not repeat it. Also, sir, the glory that our history has, we should try to replicate the same glory in our present times. Like, sir, earlier during the Mughal Empire, India used to be a major exporting market of the world after China. And, sir, we should try to replicate the same in the present times.
Do you think India will regain its status which it had before Britishers?
Yes, sir, India will definitely regain its status in the time to come. As sir, our government is trying to have various initiatives like PLI scheme, various infrastructure projects, and we are also cooperating with the various companies. And sir, recently our Prime Minister has inaugurated semiconductor hubs. So, sir, yes, India is definitely going to regain its status that we have in Asia.
Okay. Are you aware about the concept of friendshoring and reshoring?
Yes, sir. Friendshoring is a strategy employed by various countries who are trading with China to friendshore China with some other countries like India, Vietnam. But, sir, I do not know about reshoring.
Okay. What is hyperglobalization?
Sir, hyperglobalization. Sir, when globalization is at its peak, then it is called hyperglobalization. And sir, when it is at its peak, like sir, in inflation case, it is called hyperinflation. In globalization, it is called hyperglobalization.
So currently, what is the status of the world? Is it hyperglobalized or on the way to hyperglobalized or already done?
Sir, the world has already hyperglobalized, and now it is showing some trends of deglobalization. As sir, we have witnessed in the WTO forum and various forums at UNSC that consensus are not being done properly. And sir, the rise of the regional trade agreements also shows that globalization